want that? Here, you want that?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I was thinking I was going to need it, but I don't. Down here, there's no wind.
We're back again for Jared. Correct me if I'm not mistaken, but this should be the last game, right? We haven't had any luck trying to find some other games.
I know Coach Parrish was working real hard to get a varsity team that they could maybe somebody looking for a warm-up game before the playoffs. The boys were really wanting him to schedule friendship, those games that we lost at the early season.
Yes, sir.
They wanted a rematch with those. But from what I know right now, there is no scheduled games. I know varsity is going to play a game, what is it, Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday, I think now. Got rescheduled against Andrews. So look forward to that matchup. That'll be a warm-up game before the playoffs for the varsity team. Welcome, everybody, to Littlefield, Texas.
Yeah, things got a little rowdy around here last night.
Oh, man. That was a storm to be remembered right there. Those of you who don't know, there was a tornado here south of Littlefield last night. Lots of hail, lots of rain. But as you can see, this is a well-designed field. Beautiful field. Drains water really good. And here we go. We're going to play baseball. One day after a terrible storm.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Idlew and Roosevelt are playing after us, I believe. Let's see if this works. I've never done this before, but we got 3 microphones today.
Gonna have some sparks fly?
Yes, sir. Why not?
I got a good little spot over here. It breaks the wind up a little bit.
Yes,
nice. Sir. Good facility here. Nice stands.
Yeah, it must be nice to have a turf field with trees surrounding it. And just down the railroad tracks from our place.
I mean, not that we need it today.
Talk about making our stuff look homely and terrible.
All it takes is money, Rob. All it takes is money.
Yeah, they collect. They have businesses here. Cody and I determined, so they collect a little more cash for this school district.
All we need is a casino and water. That'll take care of it.
Can we? Yeah, let's open that.
Gavin Gerardo leading us off here. Let's see if we can get some speed on this guy.
G pops that one up into right field. It's going to be caught for the first out of the inning.
Now, do you remember this right fielder from the first time we played? He's decent.
Yeah.
He made some really good catches that first time we saw him.
We went against a decent pitcher as well. I wonder if this is the same kid.
Yes, Rob, I believe that's correct.
No umpires for this game, so the coach will stand behind the pitcher and make the calls for balls and strikes.
First pitch gets Manning swinging. Looked like a changeup.
Looked like he took something
way
off of
out in front of that one.
Yeah. Maybe they're doing a scouting report here on Manning.
And Manning quickly down on the count 0-2.
Looks like the same pitch there. 62 miles on that. He was throwing harder than that in warm-ups.
Yeah, no doubt.
Manning moves up in the box now.
Pitch in the dirt.
Lucky to get this game in, last of the season. And
yeah, what have we had? 2 or 3 canceled games, right? Manning turns on that one. It's going to get down.
Yes, sir.
Boy, it'd be fun to see the total bases for Manning this year.
I apologize. I do not. My scoreboard is web-based, and it is taken off the at-bat. So I can't put the numbers up there, but we'll try to get them announced. Caden Freitag up to bat. Caden going to draw that one back.
Wow.
Right at the second baseman there.
He's not over there covering Manning. He's playing too far over. He doesn't make that catch. kind of a little bit of bad luck right there. Just
hard hit ball, man. Just
that
right
ball
at-
goes through if he's playing at that position right there. But since he was over covering the bag, he makes the play on that.
Right to him.
Man, if you're watching, let us know if you can hear all three of us. Like I said, this is something we've never done, but last game of the year, why not? I got to give a shout out. Rob, man, thank you. You helped me get this thing set up. You've been doing it way longer than I have. And,
We've been doing this for some years now, right?
yeah, but you showed me how to do all this and set it up, and man, I'm grateful, and it's been fun. Jared came in because Rob was still chasing basketball.
There's a chance this might be our last hurrah.
Yeah, that's why I said.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Manning will be varsity sports here on out. I'm pretty confident of that.
Runner goes. Then say, well, look at that slide.
Yeah, the wet turf, boy. You like a slip and slide out there.
He did slide forever.
That's got to be fun.
Oh yeah.
And to catch the bag to not slide past it.
Ball down a little bit.
Oh, Jared, I just want to thank you too for helping out. Like I said.
Yeah, man, dude, coming in as the baseball aficionado.
Tell you what, it's been fun. Good hit by Joaquin.
Gets through. I just want to say how much fun I've had with you guys doing this, if this is indeed our last hurrah.
Great two-strike approach there by Joaquin. You know, doesn't try to do too much, just drives that pitch right back up the middle. Looks like we're going to have a pitch runner for Joaquin. Landon Freitag coming in to run for him. Is that Landon?
Yes, sir.
Number 11. It's been fun.
I like Landon showing off the socks today. I like it.
It's been fun stumping you two guys on my trivia questions, and I do have one today.
Oh. Connor Shires steps in the box. Connor hits that one to third.
Gonna have to make it quick.
Oh. Hold Landon up at third.
Third baseman, comes up with the ball cleanly there and has a chance to make a play. But Connor, with his speed, he's got to rush the throw a little bit. It's low. Gets past the first baseman. Runners on the corners now.
Yeah, for Trenton. Man, I was hoping this morning. Last time we played here, the wind was blowing out, 30, 40 miles an hour. And this morning, it kind of picked up that way. It was
blowing out to right today.
Yeah,
so, if you go to right, you have a chance. To bat Trenton. Throw through. Let's see if we got any. Nope.
Good job there. Good
nice
read by Landon.
Great base run in there. That's what you call manufacturing runs right there.
Yes, sir.
Runner on second now. 2 outs. Top of the first. 2-0 Mustangs. Ball in the ground. Can't say ball in the dirt on these turf fields, can you?
I can.
The colored looking dirt.
Yeah. Swing and a miss there by Trenton.
Pulls his head a little bit there. Keep your head in there, Trenton. Ball inside.
I tried to get them to let us sit on top of the press box so we could be on top of everything, but I didn't know who to ask.
You know what, Lance? This is better. This is protected from the wind.
You can get up there, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you could have got up there, Rob. I did enough.
Gets him with a change up there. He's way out ahead of that. Damage is done, though. 2 runs in the top of the first. Go to the bottom of the first. 2-0 Mustangs. All right. You guys wanted me to give you the trivia now, or do you want the trivia later?
Now, it may take me all game to
Okay.
get it figured out.
Maybe the last trivia. Not a hard one. I think you guys can get this one. There's 5 NFL teams. So we're doing the NFL draft right now, right? 5 NFL teams that have a star in their logo. A star
Go ahead
in
and say
their
it, Rob.
logo. So I bet you guys can get one
I've heard this question
Okay,
before, but it's
alright.
been a long time, and there's a couple of them that are is surprising, But I know obviously I know the Cowboys, and I know that Houston
Yes.
What about
are
the Patriots?
2 of the teams.
Patriots,
Yep,
good.
and it's in
Yes.
the.
That's
Yes.
You said there's 5?
There's 5.
Oh, we're doing
There's
good. We
5.
already got 3.
Yeah.
The Steelers.
Steelers.
the Steelers have that little star
Yeah.
in the
All right,
the
you got
steel.
One more.
You got one more now. Then
Crap.
this might be the hardest
Yeah,
one.
yeah. There's one that's really tricky.
The Titans.
Titans, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
good job.
5.
I'm on top of
There
it
you
today.
go.
Hey.
All right.
Well, and you're making me because it has like that T.
Yes.
With the, is it
3
star?
stars.
3 stars.
around the
Okay.
team. Good job, you guys.
Well, I'd heard that long ago, and when you look at the logos, some of the stars are little or hidden in the
Yes.
logo. They're not the
Yes.
principal part of the logo.
Yeah.
So
And
that's a good
it's been
one.
argued whether
The
for the Steelers,
if that's a star or not. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a star. But it definitely looks like a star.
Yes.
Defensive alignments for the Mustangs today. Bryce Cooper will be at first. Cruz is at second. Gavin's at short. Manning at third. Joaquin behind the plate.
Maybe the updated trivia is has Shadur gone in the draft yet?
Yes, I saw that he
Did
got
he?
picked on the way up here, but I
He
hadn't.
finally went.
I think, but I didn't get to. I was driving, so I didn't get to see.
Yeah, I feel like he's worthy to go, but I understand there's a
Or
lot
maybe-
of controversy there.
They
So
were
Maybe he
talking
had- I don't
now
know.
that where he's being drafted, that he could actually make more money if he went back to college.
oh, well,
really?
with NIL
But
and
he
everything.
couldn't go back to Colorado
Oh.
because they already retired his number.
Okay,
Or he could go back to Colorado, but he'd have to use a different number.
that's a great point though on the like NIL and all
yeah.
that. He could probably make more.
Probably so. I mean, they were offering $10 million to who was it to go to Oregon?
I think
10 million.
Beck from Georgia. He went to Miami. I think for $7 million.
Yeah.
But they were offering him $10 million to go to Oregon.
I think he was drafted by Cleveland. You want to double check that?
I'll look at it here in just a
Oh
minute.
yeah, you're good.
Trenton on the mound today for the Mustangs. In right field, Connor Loafman. Center field, Connor Shires. And in left field is Caden Freetag.
Curveball.
Nice.
Gets him
Beautiful
swinging.
pitch. Beautiful pitch. The saddest thing about that shooter thing is all of the rumors going around. And
Yes.
people talk. And there's
Yes.
social media talks. And what's sad is, we don't really know the truth.
Right.
And it shows how damaging it can be if it's inaccurate. If it's accurate, then it's accurate.
Saw the one viral video I saw on TikTok of someone prank called him.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I just saw the.
and they were like, "How did they get this number?" And
So
someone,
Shadur Sanders goes in the 5th round to Cleveland,
okay,
the 144th pick. Maybe, hey, the next Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's what I was about
Wasn't
to say.
Tom Brady picked in the 5th round?
Something like
fifth or
that.
sixth, it was down there.
Dak Prescott in the 5th round or something like that, too?
Something, yeah.
4th or 5th round? I'm not saying that Dak's at Tom Brady's level.
Sure.
but
Right.
Any indication. I think my radar ate the batteries again. I was hoping to get a little bit of some
Well,
speed on Trenton here.
I left mine at the house because we never use it. It was just weighing down the backpack.
Yeah. I just put brand new batteries.
Chop to third. Manning scoops it up. Tosses it over to Bryce.
Play by Manning there. Gotta love these turf infields. They play real clean.
Yeah, no
The
doubt.
true hops.
Yeah, you could pre-plan it a little bit better there.
And I don't mean this bad, Jared. I'm surprised you're not a baseball purist and like the grass and the dirt fields, honestly.
So, my senior year in high school, we got to play at ACU.
Gotcha.
and Nolan Ryan sponsored that field.
Mm.
And the best grass I've ever played on, and so I do love grass fields. I mean, they're great, but I just love that inside pitch there. With the turf fields, you don't have to chalk.
Right.
You don't have to drag the fields. They're going to play true every time.
Yes, sir.
And I feel for baseball coaches. Baseball coaches are the only coach that prepares the field to be played. You know, basketball coach doesn't sweep the basketball floor, does he, or mop it? Football coaches don't usually go out and chalk their own field.
Yep.
But, you know, baseball fields do. Oh, coach is getting
umpire
heckled.
teed up getting heckled by the moms up here.
He's out there smiling. You know, he had a tough day yesterday. Him and Coach Noel got stuck here in Littlefield. You know, weren't able to get a ride back. And by the time the storm hit, they were Bryce had texted him and said, "Hey, Coach, are you all right?" And he goes, "No, we have softball-sized hail right now."
Rob, where were you yesterday during all that?
We were at home, you know. We were going to head out, and then we saw the delay.
Gotcha.
And then we just went back home.
Sad enough, you know, I was on the back side of the storm.
Yeah,
I was coming
right.
from Clovis from the west side, and I just stayed behind it. And eventually I saw a break in the action, and I went for it. And when I got on the other side through it, and I hit some hail, Bryce says, "Dad, you should have stopped, picked up Coach Williams, Coach Noel." And I said, I would have been happy to.
Yeah, they should have let somebody know. And I farm about 15 miles northeast of here, and I was underneath the car wash here in town. And then the tornado sirens went off, and watching my phone and the radar and everything else.
I think Joaquin misses that ball because that runner kind of looked like he broke a little bit, and I think Joaquin kind of lifted his eyes a little bit there, and that ball bounces out of his glove. I think he catches that. He probably has a good play at second to get him there. So runner at second now, 2 outs. Good pitch by Trenton there.
Yep, good pitch.
Down and in.
Trenton
Yeah,
battles
there you go.
back.
I believe Trenton
Yeah.
here maybe making an audition here for varsity in the playoffs. You know, when you get to the playoffs, you need more pitching.
Yeah, no doubt. He's pitched really well this year. And he's going to get him right
Yes,
there.
There you go. Way to come back.
Good.
Beautiful strikeout there.
Yeah, good job there by Trenton. Down 3-0 and come back and get the strikeout.
Yes. Littlefield guy doesn't like it, but that was clean. 3 clean strikes there.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, several pitchers on this JV team can contribute for varsity this year. I really believe that. And I think if you're
Cool.
Coach Paris, you have to be super excited for next year.
Yeah. Who else? Oh, go ahead.
Well,
Sorry.
there's what do you got? 4 or 5 guys that you know are going to be pitching. Maybe 6.
Well, Cruz got a couple of innings, right? Caden. Who else?
Connor Loafman's pitched for
Yeah,
varsities
Loafman.
already this year. Let's see.
I think we're missing somebody, but
I heard in that last game it was senior night.
Yes, sir.
That Trenton was supposed to pitch, but they needed to get one last senior in.
Yeah.
Duggar.
Yes, sir.
Needed to get in, and he did a good job.
Yeah,
I think
he did.
You and I watched that. He got 2 strikeouts in that inning that he came in. But, you know, you think about it. I mean, there's several that can go and pitch for varsity. You get to these 3-game series, you know, and you get to that last game, it's about who has the most pitching. And there's some pitchers on JV that we haven't seen pitch a lot that can pitch. Manning can pitch. Connor Shires can pitch. You and I watched the other day, Connor Shires got an RBI in that game.
Yeah, he did. Officially in the varsity stat book.
There you go.
We'll see how far that varsity team makes it. First couple rounds might be tough.
They got to get the sticks going.
Yeah, well, you're playing seniors over ability, and that's all I have to say about that.
I know they're already thinking Dalhart in the first round. Probably next Thursday, Friday, Saturday is what I'm hearing.
Gotcha.
Maybe a Thursday, Friday. I know they're going to do a home.
Rob, I want to hear you introduce the kid that's in the box. I like the way you do it.
Oh, yeah, man.
The guy up to bat right now, Rob.
Oh, the Cash Money?
Yeah.
Cash Money McCravey? The money machine.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Way out in front of that pitch right there. This pitcher's got 2 speeds for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, he does.
Varsity. How did varsity do today?
We won 2-0.
2-0.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Who pitched?
Cale Moore.
Cale Moore, yes, sir.
Cale's been pitching really good of late. Wow.
He's a good left-hander.
Yeah.
Has some really good off-speed stuff and played well. Some good defensive plays today. The Crews come to bat. So what do you gotta love about JV? You still get this now and again where you get the kid that's 2 foot taller than the other kid. It doesn't happen a lot at the varsity level, but JV, that still exists. Kind of reminds you of Little League, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about Littlefield, though. Their coach in the summertime, little nubber here to the second baseman.
Cruz almost able to run that one out.
But in the summertime, he lets all the Little League kids, or in the spring, Little League kids come out after varsity practice, and they can practice with the varsity.
Really?
So some of the guys will stay behind, and these little guys, you
I
know,
like
so
that.
these guys grew up
Right.
practicing with, you know, the varsity kids. They open up the field, and they let them get on the field and play, and it's pretty cool. So imagine, I mean, there's a lot of baseball kids here in Littlefield. Imagine maybe a kid named Major pitched for Littlefield
Yes, sir.
today.
I believe so.
And I watched him, you know, growing up. Played catcher, played pitcher, and good athlete.
Bryce hits that one to
Short's gotta
shortstop.
get down the base.
Trying to leg it out.
Just a little too slow there. He got his mother's speed. Coach Knowles joking over there with Bryce a little bit. He's like, hey, Bryce, you know what? Come on. I got you timed on that. It's 5.240.
He does have the stopwatch out, doesn't he?
He does. Bryce not real fast with the stop clock, but you put pads on him and he gets faster. I've told him that before. I'm like, Bryce, you run faster with pads on. Trenton really throwing hard out there. You hear that pop in the glove, good. And he bounces one 2 feet in front of the plate. Jinxed him.
And they've been tooting that horn over there for about 3 freaking hours.
Sounds like a soccer game, doesn't it?
I mean, it was all during the varsity game, and we're going to continue it now.
Girls softball playoffs going already. Shallowater won a close game yesterday, 4-3.
Yeah, weren't they playing at like 11 this morning, or do we know?
I think they moved that game. I think it's 3 o'clock now in Floydada.
I got you.
They were worried about rain in Hereford, so they moved it to Floydada. I believe it's at 3 o'clock. Kind of unfortunate for some of those girls with prom tonight. That probably ruined their plans.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
They're trying to move on in the playoffs. They got beat in the first game, and then come back and win the second game, so the third game today. I believe Shallow Water Sports Network is there covering that game.
Trenton gonna get him with the
That's
curveball.
That's a great pitch.
And yeah, he's
forgetting
Joaquin.
what the count is there. Bryce got to go up and get it, and gets on the base. There you go. You know, it was bad storms here yesterday, and unfortunate, we couldn't play baseball, but this feels like baseball weather right now. I don't know why.
not too bad out here.
It's a little bit cool out there, but ball's crisp, crack of the bat. Boys look like they're energized. Did find out that quite a few of them are actually going to travel with the varsity team to the playoffs, which I think is an excellent idea. Why not get them used to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Good pitch there. Good hard fastball inside. This kid looks like he's in the 6th grade.
That's the catcher, isn't it?
I think it is.
Trenton, that one in
Small
the dirt.
strike zone.
Yeah.
So my brother read this to me. I didn't know this, but did you hear that Mike Leach, when he was at Texas Tech,
Yes.
on short distance,
I know.
wanted to put a shorter person,
A small person
in the backfield, and wanted to throw him over the line. Right?
Yes.
So my brother just read this to me that in the MLB, back in the day, there were teams that wanted to use small people to shorten the strike zone.
Yes, they did. I mean, somebody did.
Yeah, they did it, but they've outlawed it now.
Gotcha.
I think that's kind of a shame.
Well,
I'm sorry. If you're good, you're good. But apparently there is like a height restriction,
Gotcha.
I guess, that you can't do in MLB. That's wrong.
Wow.
Well,
That's wrong.
in that story, didn't he actually carry a little person into the team meeting fully dressed in uniform?
This is Mike Leach?
Yes.
So they were
Gavin
going
trying
to
to help.
give it to him and then throw him
Yes.
over the line.
Yes.
Throw him over the line. That right now they're discussing, eliminating the tush push.
Right. Yeah.
And but apparently, they said a no to can't throw somebody over the line. I think you should be able to. You can't launch somebody.
Right.
They used to do that. You'd step on somebody and jump over. You can't do that anymore on the defensive side or the offensive side. But in baseball, in the majors, you cannot use a small person to get a smaller strike zone.
Well, have you seen the video of the kid in the Little League World Series that squats down?
Yes.
And then he's like, can't believe they called a strike. Well, it's when you're standing there. It doesn't matter, how much you squat down. Good pitch. Chop to Manning. Scoops it up.
Good play. He's going to have scoop here.
Good
play by Bryce.
Good
He got it.
kid by Bryce.
Here we go. Good reach out there. Good play by Manning.
Manning gives him a, hey, thanks for helping me out, too, from across the
That's
diamond.
a good dig right there. Sometimes a catcher playing first base, you get those digs.
No doubt.
Good play. Go to the top of the third, 2-0 Mustangs. Quick game here. That's nice. Guess we could talk about some of our favorite small players in MLB. Do you have a favorite small person in the MLB?
Well, he's not playing anymore, but Dustin Pedroia.
I love Dustin Pedroia.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a Dustin Pedroia fan. Yeah. I know this is not a very popular one. I really respect what Altuve's done.
I
think Altuve has been a great person. I mean, Bergman's another one. I think has been good. Pee Wee Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Pee Wee Reese was a great player, not real big kid. Why? Oh, I gotta take my picture. All right.
Oh, Connor Lopeman going to start things off.
The bread man, Rob. The bread man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's appropriate to call him the doughboy. He's not a doughboy.
No.
Not a lot of dough on that body.
You know, that's one thing I love about baseball is the nicknames, man. You don't get that in other sports.
So I played for Art Briles in high school.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
In fact, Stephenville is building a brand new stadium this year, and it's the Art Briles Stadium. And they're trying to think of a nickname for the stadium.
You played at Stephenville?
I did.
Swinging bunt. Yeah.
Good run down the line by Connor there. He was moving down the line.
Yeah,
that ball was not moving very fast.
No, it wasn't. And the third baseman was coming in and then just stopped and let the shortstop get it.
Yeah, we talked about this many times. You have to come in on the ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, I played for Stephenville for the first state championship team in Stephenville.
So I played at Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
We lost every year to them except our freshman year. We played Stephenville. We beat them 9-6, but they moved out of the district.
Yes.
And so they went on. Obviously, they won like 3 of the 4 years I was in high school.
Was that?
But Art Briles was amazing.
JV? Was that your JV year, Rob?
So that's my freshman year. And then our senior year. My senior year was we went to the playoffs for the first time in 26 years. And Stephenville was no longer in our district. Not to say that we would have beat them. I'm just saying that we were competitive with them when I was early in high school.
He's gonna make it too. Get down line. That's safe. Yeah, their coach calls him safe.
Yeah, Art Briles, man, he was high school football royalty.
Anyway, so Coach Briles always had nicknames. You know, my name was Coop DeVille. You know, because he always said, "You will come back to be the mayor of this town." And so anyway, but we were talking about the other day. We had a group going and group chat going, and it was nicknames for the new stadium. And everybody was talking about all their different nicknames. And so anyway.
What were some of them, or do you know?
It's really cool. Coach Paris coached in Levelland with a kid that played on our team. His name's Curtis Lowry. And went on to be an all Big 12 lineman for Texas Tech.
Yes, sir.
And anyway, his nickname was City.
City.
So anyway, there was a guy named Brad Smith, and Coach called him Badass. I mean, it was just Badass, you know, Brad Smith. And so
double steal.
Good throw by the catcher, but no, he gets around that tag. He's gonna call him out.
Yeah, they said he came off the bag.
Maybe so. Did Coach Williams call that?
No. Well, he is signaling then. Yes.
I don't think he had a good angle on that. It looked like he got around the tag there. The throw was in time.
What year did you graduate out there?
I graduated in 94.
94.
The 93 was the first state championship.
Yep. That's when the run really started, because I graduated in 97. So 3 of the 4 years I was in high school, Stephenville won it.
Yeah, they won 4 state championships in 6 years there.
Yes, yeah. So I was there during the height of that. Like every year I was in high school.
So my JV year, we went undefeated. Good hit there over the right fielder's head. That boy, Drake. Get on your horse, Drake. Come on, Drake. He wants 3. Come on. No, he's going to stand up on 2, but he drives in 2 there. That boy, Drake. That was a great hit.
Yes, sir.
We've seen Drake come up big in some of those situations. Going to bring up Gavin White. But anyway, my JV year, we hardly gave up any points the whole year.
I believe it.
Okay, and then we hit Joshua our last game of the year. And a bunch of us took no-dos to like jazz us up.
Yeah, I remember no-dos was big in the 90s.
Yeah,
took too much.
Okay.
And what
we got in trouble as a team once because Coach figured out that everybody was taking
no-dos and many things.
But there was a running back named Corey Cooper
Yes.
Do you remember Corey?
Yeah, Corey was 2 years older than me.
Yeah, and
Corey Coop.
Yeah, and so he ran all over. And Coach called, good hit there by Gavin. Come on.
Wow, you remember Corey Cooper? That's funny. Yeah, Corey had wheels, man.
Well, my last name's Cooper. So
okay.
I remember Corey Cooper. But he ran on us, and we were having a hard time tackling him. And Coach was like, you guys haven't given up any points all year. Why can you not tackle this guy? And we were like, Coach, we see 3 of them. Yeah. And he's all, hit the one in the middle.
Hit the one in the middle. Yeah, that would have been about right.
Don't take no-dos.
Yeah, because Coop would have graduated 95. I was 97. And so, yes, sir.
Yeah, we ended up playing Joshua my senior year. We went undefeated our senior year. We were 16-0. And the game right before that was against Granbury, and it was freezing cold. And the defense decided we weren't going to go out with any kind of covering. It was freezing cold. I mean, literally terrible. And we beat them so bad that they turned the sprinklers on the field at the very end, so we got soaking wet. Then they turned the water off in the showers, so we had to ride home soaking wet in freezing cold weather. Anyway, we went out in Joshua the next week, and our defensive big guys came out and said, we're not wearing anything again. And I said, no, I'm wearing
Well,
they say there's a fine line between tough and stupid.
Yeah, the first game was stupid, and the second game was tough.
Yeah, I mean, my high school career consisted of, when I came to West Texas, I was like, man, the football and stuff that I saw growing up, you had Stephenville in the south, you had Brownwood was big time back in the day. Up north, we had the South Lake Carols of the world. And I was like, that DFW Metroplex in the 90s there was insane.
Sure.
It was insane. I mean, we to put it in perspective, like we went to the playoffs for the first time in 26 years my senior year. Like the 1970 team came out there. It was like, it was a big deal in our little town.
I don't know who's in control of who calls the games for shallow water and football, but this would be a fun trio, us 3 calling football for shallow water. I mean, just the history, the love of the game.
Who did it? It was David Blackburn and Nathan Riojas, isn't it? Is that who? Talking about football?
Yeah, so we just have a lot of fun stories we could share and a lot of history in Texas high school football. That's one of the reasons why, not the sole reason, but one of the reasons why we transferred over here to the shallow water. Wanted to give Bryce a chance to play Texas high school football. Not the sole reason. Don't get me wrong there. I mean,
well, the main reason was to get out of that blue state, wasn't it?
It was. I was tired. I wanted my vote to count again.
Yeah.
I was tired of voting and finding out. Oh man, again. Moved a couple of businesses over here in Texas to take advantage of some tax breaks. Good state. Enjoyed growing up here. Jared breaking ball, breaks over the plate. Looks like it's coming right at him, then breaks right over. Little damage done there. 1 run scored. Go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-0 Mustangs. Damage done by Drake.
I guess that sun just is not going to come today.
Nope. I didn't even know if we'd get this game in.
Well,
it looked like the way that
before I left the house, it felt like it was going to peek out there, but guess not.
Looked like the rain was just going to keep coming all day long. Rob, going back to football in those times, you remember for Alito?
Yeah, man.
What was the running backs there? Justin something went on to play for University of Texas. That kid just ran over everybody.
Yep.
Stephenville had a real good matchup in the late 90s.
Yes.
Jevin Sneed versus Matthew Stafford. That was a great game. I mean, they dueled. It was Big Springs versus Stephenville. Big Spring got the best there, but 2 quarterbacks that went on to play in the NFL.
Yeah, no kidding.
Of course, Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl championship.
Yeah, now I thought Matthew Stafford, did he not play in he didn't play at Highland Park?
Excuse me, Highland Park.
Highland Park.
The one I'm thinking for Big Spring was
and I only know that because
Tannehill.
Tannehill. I only know that because the pitcher for
you are correct.
What's his name? Clayton Kershaw, him and went to high school together.
Yeah.
And could you imagine those two kids? Those kids grow up playing baseball, football, everything together, and one goes on to be a Super Bowl winning,
and one of
World Series winning,
one of the best pitchers to ever pitch.
Yeah, exactly. And y'all just came from,
That was a game, though. I remember, it was against Highland Park, and Stephenville won that game.
Yep.
So some really good matchups there, really good teams. Stephenville went on to has won 7 state championships now.
The last time I really paid attention to Stephenville was when they had Stidham down there. Jarrett Stidham. And he's still in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think he's was a backup catcher for the Broncos. Kevin Cobb played in the NFL, played for the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a ranch out there, hunting ranch in the Stephenville area now.
Another slow roller hit the third. Manning picks it up, throws over to Bross.
Hey, he's 3 for 3.
I like that Coach Williams trying to get everybody in this game and that bat. Drake got the bat. Jared came in. Gavin hit. And, man, I like it. Last game of the season. Why not?
And they're playing good.
Yeah.
They're contributing.
Yeah.
I had some good friends in college. He's from up just north Metroplex, the same way that we were just south. Boswell High School, Saginaw.
Yeah.
Boswell, but he had a friend of his that he grew up playing sports with and spent several years in the MLB, Brad Hopp.
Yes.
Brad Hopp.
Yes.
Yeah, and so he's a 97 kid like us, and Benji, my good friend, just grew up when he was in the MLB, we'd text him now and again, hey, what's going on? Just knew him like you would know your buddy. And he spent a lot of years in the MLB, and they had a serious, we played them in football. They had a running back. I'll never forget this. Of course, hard to forget his name. But they had a running back. His name was Ingpang Budapan.
Ingpang Budapan.
Ingpang Budapan. And so we called him Ping Pong because he was like a ping pong. You literally could not. He was so shifty, left, right, all over the place. And that kid could play. So I can't remember a lot of kids' names from back then, but that's one I can remember. Ingpang Budapan.
Rob, you know what? 2 Chinese people can't make a white kid, don't you?
Okay, now.
Because 2 Wongs don't make a white.
That's right. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, shouldn't have brought that one up.
Hey, we're taking it. It's only the 3rd inning.
What are they going to do? Kick us off at this point?
Yeah.
I mean,
this will officially be the last broadcast.
So Stephenville, we won the state championship in 93-94, undefeated both seasons. We were 32-0. My little brother goes in senior season, first game of the year, Saginaw, Boswell beats him. Ends the streak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just all those, I mean, I don't know. It's again, there's the West Texas thing going on, the rural Texas thing, but like I said, it's hard to explain to people what Metroplex sports was like. You just had these people littered all over the place that were.
Well, just to give you an example, Quinn Ewers wins a state championship at South Lake Carroll his junior year, and then applies to the UIL to be able to take NIL money his senior year.
Wow.
And the UIL comes out and says, no, not going to allow that to happen. So he foregoes his senior year at South Lake Carroll so he could graduate early and get to Ohio State, where he was then paid $2 million.
Wow.
Eventually transfers back to Texas. And I don't believe Quinn Ewers has been drafted yet, has he? I know he's in the draft today.
Yeah, I don't know. 2-2 count here.
That's Metroplex sports for you right there, though. Kids foregoing their senior seasons now because a lot of money being dished out.
I was at the gas station yesterday.
Gets a strikeout.
A joke got ran by me as I was checking out. The gentleman there was enjoying his day, checking people out, and he said, "You know why the orphanage doesn't have a baseball team, don't you?" So because they can't find home plate.
Oh man!
And I had a few people in line there were like, "That's it's dad joke level, but
now
we'll
I
take
don't feel so bad about my Chinese
exactly.
joke.
Saw my baseball gear on, and he was like, "Hey, I got one for you."
Nice.
Well, and speaking of, you're dropping all these names of these big time players, especially for the Metroplex area, but the corridor, the I 30 45 corridor, if you will. I mean, Dallas down to Houston has served up, in my opinion, the greatest NFL quarterbacks you've ever seen.
Oh,
if you start looking, because the greatest wealth of quarterback talent the NFL's ever seen, in my humble opinion, has come from. I know Tom Brady's a California kid,
and
there's some outliers, but you can name
Drew Brees,
Stafford, Breeze. You can start going down the line.
Another strikeout for Trenton there. Well, he's
obviously
good.
Mahomes is the East Texas guy. I'm talking about Texas guys. There's so many of them that have played and won Super Bowls. I think my Troy Aikman is an Oklahoma kid, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I don't know, Rob, if you saw some of the video of the reaction of fans to some of those NFL quarterbacks being drafted.
Yes.
Josh Allen. They were like, oh.
I love they show those old videos. That's my favorite thing. They showed the Mahomes when all people throwing their hats and like
he'll never win a
he's like
championship.
Yeah, like people taking off their gear, like I quit.
Is Thane up to bat?
Yes, sir.
So I believe now everybody's gotten a bat. Maybe we were missing a Hagen, but I see Hagen with a helmet on.
Yeah, yes, sir. Hagen.
And then it looks like Holt's going to bat here.
I think Holt's on deck. Hagen's in the hole.
And I think my Cowboys, I saw in the first couple rounds there, they were shoring up the line after losing
Zach Martin.
They replaced him with
And their second pick, I think, was an edge rusher.
They said D-line, so was he an edge guy? You need it well, and so you can't fault some of that stuff. Your core, you got to have those interior people. I know people want the flashy guys, the receivers, and all that stuff, but you got to build a block for quarterback. Got to build a rush passer.
I know Micah Parsons showed a little bit of disappointment that they didn't pick up that receiver, that Polynesian receiver.
Yes.
Thane draws the leadoff walk. Holt's going to get his first at bat of the day.
We've talked about this a lot of times. That leadoff walk always seems to come around and score. See if they can make that happen again. Good group of parents here supporting these kids. It's cold, it's rainy. Still coming out to watch baseball. A little under that pitch right there. 0-1. Same pitch, same result.
Yeah, Hope pulling his head out.
Yeah, he's got to keep his head in here a little bit. 2-strike approach now. Shorten up a little bit. Just draw some contact here. Pitch bounces in front of the plate. Gets past the catcher, so the thing goes down to second. You know, it's really good, cool, Lance, is look at all of the normal starters over there. They're all up on the fence at the dugout. You know, nobody's sitting back, just kind of, you know, hey, last game is everybody's rooting everybody on here.
Yeah, T-Dub trying to get a little energy going in the dugout. Oh, Hope works at count full. Gets a piece of that one.
Barely stays alive there, but he's alive. He's going to see another pitch.
Gonna get him swinging.
Yeah, he comes up and tags him. Good pitch by the Littlefield pitcher there. That was low and outside.
Hey, I like that Holt took off after that.
Yeah, no, he did not, you know, hesitate at all.
No.
That's what everybody's got to do.
Yep. Bring up Hagan. Swing and a miss. Starting to feel a few little sprinkles.
I do. It's got to be blowing sideways because we're under a roof here.
Yeah.
Wind's picking up a little bit.
Another pitch on the outside corner.
Come on, Hayden. Big hole on the right side. See if we can punch it through that hole. Maybe something in the right center gap here. It goes the opposite way. And that's going to drop. Get through there. Yes, sir. Hey. Good job.
Gonna bring up Gavin.
See if Gavin get his bat going here. He's got 2 runners on, first and second. Opportunity here to drive in a run. Pitch is inside.
Pitch is in the dirt. Runner's going to move up.
Both of them to go. You know, Lance, we've talked about this before. This pitcher's not throwing a lot of curveballs.
No.
But he is changing his speed.
Yes, sir.
Which has some of these guys off balance. And, I mean, you don't have to have this gigantic curveball anymore. You just got to have, you know, 2 speeds. He's throwing a lot of fastballs. Every once in a while it mixes in like a changeup or something. But he does change speeds really good. I mean, he does hit locations too. He'll come inside, then go outside.
G draws the walk. Just going to load him up for Manning.
This is trouble.
3 on, 1 out.
Manning's going to hopefully add to his base total here. Maybe trying to set the JV record for total bases in a season. Now, did you know that a walk is not considered a base? Like you don't get awarded a base on the statistics in baseball? So, if you get a single, that's a 1-bagger, right?
Right.
Double, 2 bags. A walk, you are not awarded a base. That does not go in your stat as a base.
Well, because it doesn't count as an at-bat.
Yes.
Right. Manning takes a hack at that one.
Now, in this situation with bases loaded and he gets a walk, that's an RBI.
Yeah, right.
He won't have an official at bat, but he gets awarded an RBI. Right. Won't officially get a base, but he gets an RBI. I don't think Manning's walking here.
Oh, he's going to scowl that one up in the infield. That one was up in his highs. Yeah.
Infield fly rule. Bases loaded and 1 out. That's infield fly rule. Just got under that one a little bit. That pitch was up a little bit. We talk about a lot of staying on top of the ball, right?
Yes.
And, work from the top down. Right there, he kind of just lowers his hands a little bit and has to come back up to the pitch, which makes it pop out.
And I like that 2-strike pitch. I mean, that's a one you see a lot of.
Problem with it either. Yeah. So if you get hit by a pitch, is that an RBI?
It's got to be, right?
I think it has to be. Do you know, Rob?
Hell if I know. Man, I'm just counting the minutes this thing's over with, dude. This is just been letting the ADD fully kick in and zone out.
JV Mustang JV baseball.
I know, man. This year has been.
It's just been run over everybody.
Running over everybody, getting 1 bat at a game. If it's possible to regress at a sport, that might have happened this year. I mean, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, you only get to pitch every 2 weeks.
No, I mean it's the worst thing I've ever been a part of. But I'm gonna keep my head up. We got an inning or 2 left, and it is what it is. Kids are having fun, and we do win a lot, but we should. So.
It just shows how much excitement you have to have for next year. There's a lot of kids that can contribute next year.
A lot to look forward to.
The juniors that are playing on varsity right now. Not to take away anything from the senior group that's on varsity right now, but
I'll take away from them if you need me to. I'm just kidding.
There's a really good group coming out.
Really good group coming up, and we got a couple really good kids returning. I mean, Garrett Boschma can just stroke that ball. Good.
Yeah, he got him a home run
again today. Yeah, he just did. And, Maddox McDonald's a heck of just an all-around player.
Trouble, but left fielder able to make the catch.
Brownie out there, man, he's just got – they put him in to run bases. Yeah, wicked speed. You just got some stuff. Now, that's a really good point. There's a lot to look forward to. Yeah, I just feel like this year, our team – this team, it's like we're caught in a no man's land. We just need to be playing like one level up. If there's like a tweener level, of some sort,
or if we
were playing 4A JVs maybe or something where it was just,
So we need to go back and replay some of those games from the first part of the season.
That was perfect.
How much they've grown this year and progressed. Quite a few defensive substitutions out there right now. Hagen's going to go to first. Let's see, Holt's going to second. Cruz playing shortstop now. Drake at third. Landon Freitag's going to be at center. Gavin White in right. And Connor Shires in left field. Jared Behill's going to come in and catch. Trenton's going to stay on the mound. He's throwing I don't want to say, and I'm not going to say it. Otherwise, I think, somebody else probably comes in and pitches a little bit the last game here, but definitely cannot take him off the mound right now.
No.
But we got a new catcher, right?
Yes.
And the defensive change, and this has happened in a bunch of games. We've gotten 3 innings deep with something like that potentially working, and then we have a defensive and catcher change. That's happened every game that we've been in this position, and every single time it hasn't exactly worked out great. So I understand we want to get everybody in playing and all that kind of stuff, but every now and again you want to ring up a no-hitter or a shutout. And, we're going to not stick with the situation again. That's all I have to say about that as well. And I've been right every single time. So here we go. Don't get me started.
Let's hope that it's not that.
Yeah, y'all hooked up a third mic today. You're gonna hear the bottom line.
That's all right.
We get it out on the last game here. There we go.
Nobody.
There's just a possible slight frustration there. I don't know if you guys are picking up on that.
We used to have Deep Thoughts by Jack
That's
Deep Thoughts by Rob.
But
Rob,
that Pissed Thoughts by Rob Dixon.
Laying down a bunt to break up the no-hitter.
Hey.
That sucks.
He just tried to.
He did?
Yeah.
I think I've said this before. My wife and Bryce and I and my brother had the opportunity to go watch the Rangers.
Just a bit high.
The World Series Game 5 in Arizona. And Zach Gallen for Arizona was pitching a no-no into the 7th.
Really?
And we were sitting with all the families.
You got to see that in person?
Yes.
Wow.
And we scalped tickets, and we got tickets with all the family members of the Arizona Diamondbacks families. And Zach Gallen's mom turns around to everybody and says, he's throwing a no-no.
Oh, gosh.
And I said, that's a no-no.
Yeah,
and then
you can't do that.
And then it gets broken up in that inning. Yeah. And they left.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they went up and sat in the booth
or
whatever, but they left. Yeah, the family got up and left.
It's going to hit him.
Dropped down a little sidearm there, didn't he?
Yeah, it looked like it.
We've seen a few of the guys do that this year, no better doing it than Cruz. And who did we see the other day drop down sidearm?
Landon.
Yes.
Yeah, dropped down and got a strikeout with the...
Yeah, I asked him after the game if he'd been working on that, and he said no. I'm like, well, it worked.
Now, Cruz does that every once in a while, Rob. Is that something that he's seen somebody else do? And
he's worked on it. He's worked on it for some years, and but had never really used it in a game setting until this year.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see, though.
Yeah,
especially
it is fun
with two
to see.
strikes, and then he, whips that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Runner goes.
And that's a confidence play for two. You're like you got the two strikes. You're like, hey, I'm gonna switch to it right now, cold turkey. But boy, it gets that different arm angle. It's coming from a different way.
No, the fun thing is the way it freezes the hitter.
Every time it's frozen them. They're like, what was that?
And Trenton gets a strike out there.
Coach Williams rings him up, on that inside corner. That pitch was too close to not swing at.
Yeah.
And
foul it off. I
would have called the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sorry. Two strikes, you got to swing at that pitch. Trent really whipping it in there.
He sure is.
I wish my radar.
Hear the pop of the glove.
I'd like to get a speed on this, but my batteries are dead for some reason.
Man, T-Dub calling him tough here.
Yeah.
Little chatter from the dugout.
Yeah, he kind of winces with the.
Oh man, there was it.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
No, not heads up, heads down. Nobody wants to look up and get a ball in.
Let's say, hey, watch it come into your face.
I'd rather it hit me on the top of the head than right in the face.
It's like they need to yell, cover. Cover.
Woo! Little chin music.
Really whipped in there. I'd imagine he's throwing low 80s right now.
For sure.
Pitch inside.
Going to put runners at first and second. Got one out here. Bottom of the fourth.
Still waiting for it to warm up.
Next week, Rob. Next week.
Saw 72 on that forecast. I don't think it's going to get there. It might be at 6 p.m.
Foul ball.
Kind of feels like the start of the season, doesn't it?
Do what?
It sure
like
does.
The start of the
season.
It does.
For sure.
we're used to this, that's first games of the year, but not the end.
Trenton going to get him swinging.
Got a chance here.
Yeah, that's the right play, too, because less than 2 outs, first base is occupied. He's automatically out. So we know we've ran that trick play before.
Cruz is covering his face, looking at coach going.
We've done that before, and they ran to first, and they threw to first because we were running on that drop third strike, and then we came around to score.
Sure. Good play by Jared B. Hill there. Comes up, recognizes that
no doubt
that guy at first means nothing.
Nope.
He goes to third. Close play. He was safe, but that was a close play. There's runner's coming. He's got a chance. He's way out.
Honestly, I think he was safe, though.
He was.
He reached around, and Trenton tagged him on the head, but the hand was in there. Can't see that from T-Dub's perspective, but you agree?
I agree because, there was a good slide. He slides to the outside part of the bag, or the home plate, gets around the tag. But what's interesting is you always teach, catch the ball, put the tag straight down. So all of these base runners now are learning to avoid that tag. They pick their hand up, they go over the tag, they go around the tag. So, we were always taught sweep, and then come up like you made the tag and throw the ball.
Right.
Don't give that umpire any opportunity to analyze whether you got it or not. I got him.
Yep.
And the sweep kind of takes care of that guy moving his hand around. Come and sweep. Don't just put it right in front of the bag. I think we saw Bryce do that early in the year. You remember that?
Yeah.
Where he tagged, put the ball down, and the guy kind of, I think jumped over or something.
Yes, sir.
That was in Friendship, did that. And so you can't just say go to the front of the bag anymore. You've got to do some kind of a sweep. These kids are watching the major league players do that, or college kids players are doing it.
Yes, sir.
And they're learning, and so they're mimicking that now.
Oh, I've seen Caden Freetag do that for years now with the swim move.
Yeah, great move. I appreciate these coaches. It's Saturday and they're out here coaching these kids. They had a rough night last night. They stayed here. I think it was 10 o'clock last night, and Bryce said they were still. Vincent went and got
really? All he had to do was let us know.
He was waiting, for towards Smyre, and I don't know if you saw it, but then it backed up and came right back over Littlefield. And so, they were here late last night. I talked to Coach Williams earlier, and he said, we made some friends. I'm sure that they were treated okay, but they were here for a long time. But here they are on a Saturday, giving up their Saturday, coaching baseball. They've got smiles on their faces, they're coaching the game. But really got to appreciate that. This is overtime that they're probably not getting paid for, but they're out here doing it because they love baseball. I've said this in Shallwater before. They're fans.
Yeah.
They're fans of these kids.
Connor.
That's a good feeling if you're high school kid.
Yes, sir, for sure.
That your coaches really do care.
Connor Shire's leading things off in the top of the fifth. Connor hammers that one into left center.
That's 3 bags.
It ought to be 3. He's digging. He's going to get him a stand-up triple.
That's a good hit. Connor's been doing that a lot here in the late part of the season. He's seeing the ball better now. He's really starting to drive the balls. Before he was, doing a lot of hits right up the middle and maybe kind of in between third and short. But, boy, he's sitting back and really driving the ball now. He's going to be fun to watch in the future.
Yes, sir.
Of course, these boys, I think a lot of them are going to play on a summer league team together.
Yes, sir.
Traveling team, so we'll get to see a little bit more of them.
Well, Trent Medley up to bat. Fouls that one off.
Got to sit back just a little bit. He's just way too fast, isn't he?
Yep. Connor
That ball
slides.
does not get that far away from the catcher.
No.
Connor just ready to pounce as soon as he drops that ball. Gets in there easy. Love the slide too. You know, that was just go forever.
Yeah. Fouls that one off.
I didn't even notice this is a new pitcher for Littlefield, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir.
This is that kid that kept licking his fingers in the first game.
Curveball gets Trent swinging. That's a pretty curveball.
You can really see the delivery change, you know. As a batter, you got to recognize that. You kind of cocks that wrist. You know that curveball's coming.
Cash steps up to the plate. Cash not fooled by that curveball.
Drives that pitch in between short and third.
It's going to bring up Cruz.
No bunts today.
No.
This way I'm saying, hey, you know what? I don't want to bunt today. Let's get some hits. I like that warm-up swing, you know, that backhand, you know, training that backhand to stay flat, keep the barrel even, you know, line up this pitch. See a lot of major leaguers now, you know, when they step out the box, you know, they just use that backhand warm-up. That front hand should just be used to guide, but the backhand's really what's pushing.
Oh, 3-0 count to Cruz.
You can teach that backhand to push instead of rolling over. You know, you have so much more power when you do hit the ball. 3-1.
Cruz skies that one to left field. Catch is made. I'll bring up Bryce Cooper.
I think it just kind of shows the talent level that, you know, Shallowater has right now. This Littlefield team's not bad. They're pretty solid defensively. I mean, they haven't made any mistakes. We're just hitting the ball and, you know, pitching the ball good right now. See if Bryce can get a hit here and drive in a run.
Fouls that one off.
Roll in front. See Bryce doing a separated approach there. That's to help keep from rolling over. His brother actually hit a home run with that, his hands separated like that one time.
Gotcha. It's just going to say, watch Cash here and how far off second he's getting.
I'm glad that turf's a little slick because he slid way back and he was like, are you going to get there? Are you going to get there?
Swing and a miss. Oh, throw to second. Nobody's there.
That's going to get him a base.
You know, that's not on the catcher. Yeah, you're playing up middle infield. Somebody better get over there and cover.
I don't know if there's some kind of a call on that, you know, to tell him to get back there, but that was the right play by the catcher.
Yeah.
He was far enough off. That was a backdoor pick, and it could have worked. Curveball here.
Yep.
Freezes Bryce, comes back over the...
You called that the whole...
Yeah. Comes back over the inside of the plate there and gets the strikeout. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 5-0 Mustangs.
Yeah, I guess Trenton's done. Who's coming in? Loafman.
Good day for Trenton on the mound. Threw a lot of strikes. We can go ahead and say this now. He did pitch a no-no. He pitched 4 innings of no-hit baseball.
Well, Jared, you know more about this. So this is not a save situation for Connor because we're up by 5, right?
So I believe that the rule is, yes, it has to be 4.
Is it?
And
Not-
it has to be, I believe, in the major leagues, it has to be past the 5th inning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For him to get a save opportunity here. Now, if a runner gets on base, then now it does become
Right.
a save opportunity.
Right.
Yes. So all it has to be is one runner has to get on base, and then it becomes a save opportunity.
Sorry, not to put you on the spot. I apologize.
No, I mean, I like that rule. They changed that rule probably, I think it's maybe 10 years ago.
Gotcha.
Used to be if you just came in and finished the game, you could
Right.
save.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of times, it's not really a save because, I mean,
Yeah.
so the run differential was so high that it's like, okay, if you give up 5 runs right now, or 4 runs, and in the game, I mean, that's a save,
Right.
but it's really not a very good save.
A swing and a miss.
Another pitcher here for Shallow Water, probably making a little audition to pitch into the playoffs for the varsity. He's pitched a couple innings this year so far for the varsity.
Curveball.
Really took a lot off in that. And who knows? Maybe varsity gets up big, and they need somebody to chew up some innings.
Right.
They've got plenty of them that are going to be available.
Curveball misses. Oh, I was going to ask you the other night against Roosevelt. Saw a guy on varsity swinging a wooden bat. That may be the first time I've seen one. Now in Texas, now in high school or in New Mexico, right? They swing wooden bats.
They changed the rule 2 years ago.
Okay.
They went back to metal bats, and the reason they did that is because of Texas.
Gotcha.
They noticed that so many of the Texas kids, the stats were getting them the scholarships at colleges, and so anyway, New Mexico kids were not. And so anyway, they went back to the metal bats.
Gotcha.
I heard it was all for insurance reasons.
Well, yeah.
Like Connor, I just barely gets a piece of that. But anyway, they're doing it for insurance reasons because the exit velocity off the metal bat is so much higher.
Right.
But they were just noticing that not a lot of the New Mexico kids were getting scholarships.
Gotcha. Well, skies that one up, out of play.
What was sad about that is, we had fundraised and to buy a bunch of wooden bats. I mean, you're familiar with the bomb bats, which are wooden bats. They're expensive bats. And then, of course, all of a sudden they switched to metal, and coach was like, well, I need new money now to go buy metal bats.
Yeah. The curveball gets him. We played a couple of wood bat tournaments, and dude, I love them. I mean, you've got to be a better hitter with a wooden bat.
How about Bryce Harper coming out the other day for a gender reveal?
Yes.
With the blue bat, and he comes out and his wife sees that and she just starts cheering in the stands, I thought that was kind of cool. Bryce Harper, one of mine and Bryce's favorite players. What do you think, Rob, about wood bats?
I was just about to ask Rob.
They're pretty.
They're pretty?
They're pretty. Yeah, I've played a couple of wood bat tournaments before. It's a whole different game there.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Hard hit ball, backhanded by Holt.
Yeah.
Gets him at first. That's a good play.
Hey, we talked about Littlefield's playing good. Hey, we're playing some pretty good ball ourselves here. A lot of good plays out there in the field today.
You know, when I was coaching at practice, we would do our hitting days. I always made them swing wooden bats. And I just think that, for some reason, the barrel was smaller, sweet spot was smaller. I just think it makes you a better hitter, personally.
Rob, we'll go back to my senior year in high school. Our quarterback was Brandon Stewart. Do you remember him?
I remember Brandon Stewart,
and
yes.
He went on to signed with Tennessee Volunteers. Of course, got beat out by a man named Peyton Manning.
Yeah, about to say.
So he transfers to Texas A&M. But anyway, that year he played baseball, played baseball in high school. And because of his size and because of his strength, before one of the games in batting practice, all of a sudden we see Stewart up there swinging a wooden bat. And we're like, Stewart, why are you swinging this wooden bat? Well, the Kansas City Royals drafted him in the 14th round. They wanted to see if he could swing a wooden bat.
Really?
Yeah. And it was mainly based upon his size and his strength and his speed. And Stu didn't do so good with the wooden bat and chose to play football and probably made the right choice.
Pitch outside.
Brandon Stewart that year was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. Yeah. Mustangs up 5-0 here. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs. Pass ball is going to allow that runner to advance to third. Talking a little earlier about nicknames, Coach Browse gave us, and you were asking me about some of those. One of my good friends played linebacker. His nickname was Tattoo. He just lit people up. Tattoo.
He tattooed them. We had a safety. His name was B.J. Lambert, and he was a smaller guy, but just would knock people. I mean, he hurt people coming over the top, hitting people. And so instead of saying they got hammered, he said they got Lambert, yeah.
That's a good one.
Lambert.
2 strikes now. 0-2.
Lambert.
Runners on the corners for Connor Loafman here. Just trying to get out of this inning. Preserve the shutout here. Richard B. Hill there was standing up, asking for that high pitch.
Yep.
Trying to get something elevated there, throw it right by him.
Runner goes.
Connor kind of whipping it in there pretty good.
Oh, full count.
Real important here to stay composed. Don't overthrow this. Spot your pitch here.
There it is. And gets him swinging.
Perfectly thrown. Right over the outside corner, down and away. No way that guy catches that pitch. Go to the top of the 6th inning, 5-0 Mustangs. Looks like that's going to be game. Maybe set an agreement.
Yeah.
Go 5 innings. Good job.
There's another game. Well, Rob, Jared, if this is
Good
it,
stuff.
I have enjoyed it very
That's
much.
awesome.
Thank you guys.
Hey, thanks for setting this up, Lance.
Yeah, man. You're always on time and out here, got all the stuff set up. That's a commitment. I've been there.
Yes, sir.